Do you need a financial advisor or a financial coach to become a millionaire or multimillionaire or just financially independent? Absolutely not. I read every comment you guys post on my videos, and there are a lot of you who are already smart with investing. And I'm super excited for you and your financial independence journey. Many of you watching this video have wondered if you need a financial advisor at some point in your life. I definitely did. In fact, I will need a financial advisor one day when I'm getting ready to retire. You're probably wondering why someone like me would need a financial advisor, right? The first reason is to get a different perspective on my investment portfolio. The second reason is to have another professional do a risk assessment of my portfolio and make sure I didn't forget about anything I needed to do to my portfolio. And I want to make sure my money doesn't run out throughout my early retirement, right? And compared to the past generations like Gen X and baby boomers, a vast majority of people feel like they can do the investments themselves. And ever since index funds became a thing, most people just put their money in mutual funds or ETFs that can generate anywhere between, on average, 8 and 15% return every year. So why would people want to pay expensive fees to financial advisors just to invest money for them, right? And you should never let someone else manage the money for you. You have to do your due diligence, even with a financial advisor, because that's your money and not theirs. The truth is that people like you watching this video want to get some guidance, and you're probably not sure how to start saving for your retirement. You're probably someone who has been making minimum payments on your credit cards, student loans, or car loans for the past 3 years, and it doesn't seem like you're building any wealth. You're probably someone who's wondering how to rebalance their portfolios during a bear market like in 2022. My YouTube channel is about financial independence and retire early movement, specifically in Fat Fire. And on this channel, I talk about how I invest my money and how to value stocks and real estate. And I don't give you any specific financial advice. You probably notice how my verbiage is more like, this is what I do, or this is what I've been doing with investments. I would never say something like, you should invest in this stock or that stock, because there are actually laws against people giving financial advice. A certified financial advisor is the one who can sell you financial products like stocks and bonds. They're the ones who can help you manage your investments, both short and long term. They have to register with what's called a Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, or FINRA, and they also have to register with the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, which is basically like law enforcement in the investment world, and they're heavily regulated. And what I do as a financial coach is to give you financial education, create a budget, outline a financial plan, establish savings, and manage your debt. And I was once in debt myself for $110,000, and I paid it off completely in 2 years. And I sold everything and paid everything off with intensity because I was so tired of living paycheck to paycheck and not being able to save for my retirement. And my financial coaching is unique because I like to focus on how to become financially independent first, and retirement comes second. And once you become financially independent, anything is possible, right? If you make $5,000 a month, but your expenses and debt are $4,500 a month, your savings rate is $500 a month, or at 10%. Your early retirement is only possible if you can increase your savings rate. Let me give you some examples. And if you come to me and say that your goal is to buy a house, then I'm going to work with you by creating a financial spreadsheet within my coaching program and show you multiple different ways to save you money for the housing down payment. And I can educate you on the differences between a savings account and an investment account. What I can't do is tell you what to invest in. So if you ask me what an S&P 500 is, I can educate you on what an S&P 500 is. If you ask me how to research an index fund, I can show you where you can go to research index funds. But if you ask me which index fund you should invest in, then that's where I have to draw the line. This is where I refer you to a certified financial advisor who is licensed to give you the breakdowns of a stock, bond, mutual fund, or ETF that you're interested in investing in, and including crypto. Or you can always just watch my YouTube videos. And let me give you another example. And let's say you're a client of mine just starting to budget and you want to increase your savings rate to invest in your retirement. I look at your entire bank statements from checking and savings accounts to credit cards, and I will meet with you in person or virtually on a bi-weekly basis. Usually right after you get your paycheck from your employer. And I just analyze your spending habits, debt repayments, and savings plan. And what most people don't realize is your behavior with money plays a bigger part in personal finances. There are millionaires out there who on average make less than $80,000 a year throughout their lifetime because they managed to save half of their income. It's all about the mindset, right? If you believe you're going to be broke for the rest of your life, you're going to be broke for the rest of your life. If you believe you're going to become a millionaire one day, you're going to become a millionaire one day. My job for my clients is to help them stay on financial track with a personalized budget. If you make an appointment with me by visiting firesightchat.com/coaching, not only do you get your first session completely free for 20 minutes, and veterans, you get a free session for 30 minutes, but I also get to assess your overall financial health. And believe it or not, I have turned away some clients, potential clients, away because I was not suitable for them. And not that I'm a bad financial coach, but I've had people who just wanted to get some investment advice. As much as I want to give you guys investment advice, the laws and regulations prohibit me from doing so. What I can do is continue to publish videos about what I'm doing to invest in my future. And these videos are strictly for entertainment purposes only. And what I also have is giving out free financial products like spreadsheets to calculate your financial independence number. And you can download all of my resources for free by visiting firesightchat.com/contact. And here's the common misconception about financial coaches. We're often thrown into the same fire pit as financial advisors or financial planners. We're not the same as financial advisors. I focus on your spending habits, saving plan, and managing your debt. You can think of me as your fitness coach who helps you lose weight or gain muscles, but I help you gain financial freedom in the short and long term. You can also think of me as your life coach who coaches you on dating and relationships or creating emotional boundaries, but I get to teach you how to have a positive relationship and manage emotions with your money. I have learned over the years that your income does not equate to your wealth. And I've had numerous clients in the past making over 6 figures a year, and they desperately needed a financial coach who could help them develop a positive relationship with their money. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I talk about the importance of a savings rate and how it's more important than the stock market returns. My wife and I are saving 65% of our income towards our savings and investments. How are we doing it? Do we make a lot of money? No. We are very intentional with how we save and spend our money. We pay ourselves first every month by saving at least 65% of our income because we know how important it is for us to reach our early retirement. The stock market in 2022 is down over 20%, but our net worth is still going up because we're saving over half of our income. Take a look at this, right? If I'm saving $100,000 and per year and the stock market return is 0%, I'm still saving $100,000. If the return is 10%, then it's $110,000, right? And even if the market performs poorly at let's say a negative 20% rate, I'm still saving $80,000 for the year. But if I only save $6,000 a year or $500 a month, the 10% return in the market would just earn me $600 in interest. Do you see the difference and why your saving principle is much more important than how the stock market performs? And when I take a meeting with a potential client, when they sign up for a free coaching session, I always ask them what their goals are with their money. Most people I talk to have goals like creating passive income in the stock market or something like that. And creating a budget or saving cash, it's just not that attractive, right? What they don't realize is that they're still making $700 a month on a car payment. They're making $300 a month on student loan payments. They still don't have an emergency fund set up. And any decent financial coach would tell you that you have to create a budget. And I've seen financial advisors turn their clients away because they need a financial coach who can help them get back on track. You can't save money without a budget, and it is as simple as that. As a matter of fact, almost 8 in 10 Americans right now have some sort of or some form of consumer debt, and that's credit cards, personal loans, student loans, or car loans. You can't achieve a 65% savings rate if you don't have a budget or stick to a budget. Make minimum payments on your credit cards or make $600 car payments on a car that's depreciating 10 or 15% annually. And once you reach stage 3 of your financial journey, which is financial stability, this is when I refer you to a certified financial planner or advisor to help you plan your investments. Unfortunately, 80% of Americans are stuck between stages 1 and 2 with dependency and solvency. And if you have debt, you are depending on that debt to make your living. If you're living with your parents, you're depending on them so that you don't pay for rent or food. And if you're still saving up for an emergency fund, you're still depending on credit cards and other forms of debt to pay for something unexpected. And once you get to stage 2 or step 5 of my FIRE checklist, you get to pile up as much cash as possible for an emergency fund. So if you become unemployed, get into a major car accident that makes you physically incapacitated, or you have to replace a battery in your car, you can rely on your emergency fund to pay for your living expenses and not your debt. And if you already have financial stability and you just want to learn more about how I invest my TSP, Roth IRA, and HSA, you can go to my YouTube page anytime. And I have hundreds of video tutorials showing people how I do it. And I just can't do that with my clients because that means I'm giving unlicensed financial advice. Anyway, I hope this all makes sense to you. You do not need a financial advisor or a financial coach to become a millionaire and retire early. However, you can always hire a financial advisor to help you make sure that you're on the right track with your financial investments. My job is to keep you on the right financial track and create a high-level budget plan to help you achieve a 50% savings rate. Yes, it is entirely possible to achieve 50% savings rate. It is all about your behavior. And if you made it all the way until the end of this video, you get a 20% off on one of the paid coaching sessions. Just send me an email at hello@firesidechat.com or send me a DM on Instagram and mention the coupon code Geronimo. Again, that's 20% off on your next paid financial coaching session. And if you want to know more about how to get started on your financial independence journey, be sure to check out these 2 videos. So with that said, I appreciate you watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good one.